Lord, tell me. Lord, tell me. Everything is correct. Lord, tell me. You know, we had Ian Marr static on his bike. Smashed everything. He doesn't like me saying collarbone or something because apparently it was vertebrae, collarbone, jaw, forehead, nose, penis, and all sorts of things. We had Scorry step on a pea. The Princess and the Pea. It was the Princess and Scorry, essentially. Ended up airlifted to hospital, foot in with metal rods in it from treading on a pebble. And this morning, we had the Dangerfield quadruple leap. That's right, the quadruple leap. Because when you're walking at quite a fast pace through that door into the kitchen, and that happens, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised to the extent. I knew. I knew that had happened. I knew you'd hear your head mentioned and be like, "Hey, what?" When that happens, you'll be surprised how much it propels you into the full spastic, incredible feats of. What would you? Have I got that? No, that's right. Incredible feats of spasmarana. Because don't forget, I've got me improvised internet set up here. Now there's leads that you can't see between here and the table, the chair and the wall. Kicking any of those could pull the computer off the table. It could probably survive it, but probably would the connector of the router survive it? Who knows? So I had to sort of go, hey, well, actually, Scorry, I was thinking about it. I can probably I can't get it in. I can't get it into shot. But honestly, I come in here in I was rushing as usual. I was like, shit, man, you gotta, you're wasting time. You've been sitting around picking your ass. I haven't. I don't do that. It's a saying. I think it's a saying. I hope it's a saying. Is picking your ass a saying? Or is it just something you say when you do it? Because in many ways, that's introduced us to the theme of this video. Is sitting around picking your ass a saying, or is it something you say when you do it? I wouldn't mind some input on that. But of course, being propelled forward at about, like, I was like Elon Musk's, what's that silly thing he's making? Zubatuber. I was in Elon Musk's Zubatuber, just flying along. I was going so fast that the sound I was making was in front of me. And that was weird because I started having a conversation with me. I was just sort of like saying, look, maybe you can help me because you're in front of me. And my own sound was saying, yeah, but we're just sound. The reality of what's happened hasn't happened yet. We're just audio. And I was like, well, you're fucking useless. And they said, well, we're useless, but in about 50 years' time, when the technology has evolved to allow Alan. Good morning, Alan. What do you mean it is now? I've missed something. As someone said, the grift ain't on or something. Or is a good morning? I don't know. I can't keep up all the time, but I will get the grift on. But so the sound in front of me, my own voice said to me the thing is, in about 50 years, when they've discovered the technology to propel people at these kind of speeds in the Zuba tubers, and then communicate with the voice in front of them, they will be able to use it to make some rather psychedelic avant-garde music that no one listens to. And I was like, well, okay, that's a waste of everyone's time and energy, isn't it? And my own voice back to me said yes. Said yes, it is. It's not something we're interested in or would have helped. Of course, being in the future, with that voice being in the future, they could just, there could be a musician in a studio doing their avant-garde bling blong blong. And then it would just go, hey, it's me. And they'd be like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm you. I'm you from about 2 minutes before you. This is the future. How about we make some music based on the future, but based on the past? Imagine. But even the voices of musicians, their unconscious voice, the contrived conscious voice of the avant-garde hasn't given it to them because it knows that it's rubbish. If it was worth having, the unconscious voice of speech in the future would have already told the musicians and would have been on it. But they already know it's no good. So, what are you going to do? Right, we're going to play a bit of music. I must have a cup of tea. I'm just going to quickly tell you though. So, because I'm going at such a mad speed, I'm like that now. But like at an angle of about that. I want to show you, but I don't want to expose myself. Right, so I was at that sort of angle, but you've got to remember my legs are at that sort of angle as well. Sort of like that. See what I mean? There you go. That's the way to do it, isn't it? So my legs were at that angle, and my top body was also at that angle. So imagine that. Imagine laying down, but without anything underneath you. There you go. Anyway, as I'm doing it, and as I've hit the sonic boom, because obviously I'm traveling now faster than the speed of sound, I've realised I've got the modem set up and this weird little experiment, which I don't even think's working. I've done a speed test this morning. It was something like 27, 28, which is probably quite good for I nearly said Columba. That famous place, Columba. Which is probably quite good for out here, I have to say. Upload was about 26. Ping, I've never known what it meant, so I never look at it. I think that's pretty good here. But later I'll take out that little plastic bit and do it again. I bet it's the same, so who knows. Vulture Droid. I found a double modem, triple modem moderati. And look, I'll show you it. Look. See on the chair, that's my modem, but see underneath the chair, that's a little white box. My little white ball, my little white box. That I also had laying around. And then I found a LAN lead, and Marzipan was like, yes, you've got a LAN lead. And I had a few variations of different loops and didn't go well. But we've got what we've got. Anyway, I had to flip over that, and that was like I am happy to say it was like an Olympic first. I'm happy to say that was like an Olympic first. That no one has seen that move before, and it was graceful. It was most delightful, and it was something to be proud of. It had a twist in it. It had a what do they call it? An Umberto Eco or something? Double salsa. What's it called? I've done an Umberto Eco double salsa, triple. Come on. We've all sat through the Olympics so that we can see the girls on the mats. Come on, what's it called? A triple Frisco. No, not a pirouette. I think there might have been one in there in the end. The triple salco. Thank you, Gaff. It was a triple salco. So yeah, they're the three moves that I done, and then there's a big lump of concussion wood there. See it there? See it right there with like that bit of green gingham cushion in front of it. And my head is about 4 inches away from that there. And I'm just going, and I'm heading towards it after my triple Falco Hawaii 5-0, 3 men in a boat. And I kid you not. I kid you not. My leg got stuck. It's hard for you to see. But my leg, it's really hard for you to see it, but my leg got stuck on this weird little sort of panel that's on the dark green wall that you can't see under the window. And it just stopped me, and it was like that one. It was like that. And then there was that moment where I was just like, is that the end of the achievement? Is it finished? Is something going to land on me? Am I going to try and move in a minute? The worst one, I had years ago, it was about 3 years ago, and I had a couple of lads who used to follow the channel. I don't think they do anymore. It's quite a transient thing being a YouTuber. But they were quite a nice couple of blokes. And they come out to, I was out in Phuket. Patong, weirdly enough. And they come out to see me, just to say hello for an evening. So I said to him, should we go up to Banzan Food Market? Banzan Food Market, it's really cool. I mean, Thailand's nothing like Cambodia. Thailand, especially your likes of Pattaya, Bangkok, Patong, Phuket, they're made for travellers. They're made, well, they're not Irish, do as you like is. I'm not saying you can buy flatbed trucks there and flatbed trailers. Nice chalets there. You can get skip lorries in Thailand. But they're made for foreigners, so all the food is like anglicised. They've spent 100 years getting it perfect. So you're like, oh, I'll have a tom yum. And it's not, it's just slightly spicy prawn soup. But you're like, oh, I love this Thai food. Isn't this Thai food lovely? And anyway, they've nailed it. So it's very good. I'm not slagging off my spiritual home, by the way. But anyway, I had these two lads come and say hello, meet me out there. We went up Banzan and we bought a few little bits. Anyone familiar with Thailand will also be familiar with this dessert they do, which is cold, sticky rice, cold, mango, and coconut sort of sauce, a little bit of coconut sauce. Sounds rank, right? I'm with you on that. You know, if I was 12 years old at my house and my mum had just forced me to eat sausages and greens, And then I said, what's for afters, Mum? And she said, sticky rice, mango, and coconut sauce. I'd be like, ah. But there you go. There you go. Anyone who's had it that can appreciate it, let me know in the chat, because it is something else. For some reason, that combination of foods that they've put together is it's just incredible. And I can eat them, but I'll usually buy 2 or 3 of them and chuck them in my hotel fridge and eat them all that day. And anyway, we've just come out of Banzan Market, and I said to him, I said to the pair of them, I can't remember either of their names. They're really nice blokes as well, in their 20s, you know, doing what people are missing at the moment, doing their traveling around Asia a bit in their young 20s, discovering themselves and the world. And I was explaining to him a patong tattoo, which is along the lines of a Welsh Elvis. And I said it's when you crash your motorbike and you get dragged along the tarmac and you just get like that big black scab that goes the full length of your arm or your full length of your knee, where you've just been dragged along the tarmac for about 12 meters. You know, it's a few mil away from a skin graft required, but we call them patong tattoos because they're so common. And really, much like the Princess and the Pea, the marzipan and the bike, and Scorry and the foot, most patong tattoos don't happen at speed because it's quite easy to drive a bike fast. It happens when you're just trying to park it and you're a bit drunk and you're like, oh, I think I'd probably be better if I let God do it. Oh, and so you get like a patong tattoo here. I was just telling them about that, right? And then we had a road to cross. And I ran round the front of this transit van. Motorbike smashed into me. Now, I wish one of them was here because I went up in the air and done a full somersault. It was some impact. Full somersault, came down, glasses gone flying, and I was just sitting there thinking, oh, this is embarrassing with my new friends. Hey, come to Patong and watch me get hit by a motorbike. So obviously, anything like that in Patong or Thailand or Asia, first thing is, how much money have you got on you to pay people off taking this further? So it's like, oh, fuck, man. 50 quid to the scooter driver. Oh, the front, he had a little basket on the front of his scooter. If it weren't for that basket, I'd have probably ended up in hospital because his basket was completely flat. And that compression was probably what saved it from breaking my hip, because that's where most of my damage was, on my hip. That's what was bruised. Anyway, talking about all of that for absolutely no reason, I've flung up in the air, I've come back down. So it was much like that this morning. Once I'd landed after my full triple salco, I was like, right, is anything broken? Is there blood anywhere? Am I gonna look at something and it be just like hanging off? Is this over? And it was much like that this morning after the triple salco and all that, and the sort of to the table. Because when it happened in Thailand, I honestly thought I was going to look round and see these three just blood and the tips of the fingers missing, and or something really hideous. I just remember thinking, you're going to turn around or you're going to try and move and it's just going to go and just all start pouring out of your gut. And in both examples, the good Lord were on my side, because I got up, paid off the driver, gave a couple of quid to the lorry driver for shock or something. I just didn't want the old bill or ambulances or anyone to turn up, and it ended up costing more money. And I walked home with these two blokes, and it's funny. I was sort of walking home with them, right, limping like a good one, going, I kind of got away with that. Yeah, I think I sort of got away with that, and no problem. And like when we got back to the hotel, by the time now it's all expanded and swollen, I was in agony, and I was just like, "Do you two want a beer? Does anyone want a beer? Does anyone fancy a quick beer? Just give me something to take this. The medicate me, please." But this morning I was all right. So no worries. Right, we're going to play a bit of music. I am going to comb my hair. I'm going to get this cup of tea made. And then we're going to talk about speech and power, which we were meant to talk about yesterday. Oh, God, I got in trouble yesterday. The scrubs, not all of them, but a good 20%. Oh, they didn't like it. You want to delete this one? That's bad optics. Bad optics? I'm just fucking knackered. I'm allowed to be tired. Bad optics. In fact, I'm not only am I not going to take it down, I'm going to put it as my video that you see when you first come to my channel. Cut me some slack, people, please. Even Sarah, bless her, bless her, she wrote to me, and she said something like, "I'm awful sad reading the scrubs being nasty to you." Ah, she's so lovely. What a chance meeting Sarah's been. Anyway, I've got another talk about a chance meeting, but it's to do with speech and power. So we'll get on with this music. I've got to get this cup of tea sorted, and I'll cut my hair, and I will see you in approximately 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I think it's important to have that few seconds of silence at the end there. It's obviously part of the setup, it's intentional. I think it's like a meditative moment that I give to you. Just to have a little bit of peace and quiet and prepare yourself, meditate yourself as we move forward into time. So yesterday I was going to do a presentation, an internet. What was it? An internet. What did he say? Come on, someone. An internet broadcast event. Right. Okay. Right. Thank you, Grego. That's more like it. That's more like it. Everyone just get quiet. I can get on it. Al Mac wrote something wonderful to me as well. Lovely. I would like to say, in amongst a lot of controversy, but this is YouTube. This is what happens. Shit happens on YouTube when you're a YouTuber. In amidst a lot of it, I've been getting some very, very, very kind and supportive messages where people have obviously gone to the effort of trying to communicate a certain message rather than just going, all right there, all right, no, I hope you'll be all right. No, they've actually tried to communicate a certain message. And I'm saying that because it links in with what we're going to talk about today. Now, before this presentation internet broadcast event was going to happen, something else happened, which has kind of provided me with something, a different stone from which to step from, so to speak, a different lily pad from which to leap. An ex-girlfriend contacted me last night. An ex-girlfriend. I haven't spoken to her in about 4 or 5 years. She was the girlfriend before my current one. And absolutely storming chick. I mean, 10 out of 10 looking. Just incredible, beautiful woman. Like a face like an oil painting. It's just and her body is just curt. She's got what a lot of women would call the perfect body. She's got like a 28-inch waist, and she's got sort of like a 36 double D breast, and she's only about 5'8". There's not a lot to her. Oh, and did I also add to that? She earns about $250,000 because she's done exceptionally well in her chosen industry. So, something, quite a weird woman to end up in my life for 8 years. Was it 8 or was it 80? Because when I reminisce, it certainly feels like a lot longer than it was. Like I'd be at home in my little Soho, essentially look like a squat. I'd have a couple of mates round. We'd be doing drugs because that's what we'd done there. And, eating pot noodles and shit and just ruining our lives because that's what you do in that situation. And then at about 10 minutes to her coming round, I'd have to say to them, come on, quick, tidy up. And we'd all be really trying to get it done, get the Uber out, polish some things, make sure there's nothing. She knew I was a drug addict, but you still don't want her to see that sort of stuff. You don't want that paraphernalia in her eyesight, So everyone's doing their bit to tidy up. And I've sort of chucked them both out, and I've sort of sat there. And I'd usually jump in the bath because that way I can put some suds on my face and just sort of put on Beethoven's Sixth, which I've been smashing lately. If you don't know Beethoven's Sixth, just do it. Just give it a go, right? She'd come in with her like $2,000 Prada work outfit, a $3,000 leather laptop bag. You know, she was from a different world to me. I didn't come from her world and she didn't come from me. And she'd be like, hello, love. And I'd go, hello, how are you? Just trying to make sure everything's all right and trying to pull it off, trying to get the blag, trying to maintain the blag. And I did love her. You know, it was a weird relationship. For half of the relationship, I loved her. For half of it, I hated her. And first half, I loved her. Second half, I hated her. No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. But this was the one that told me she had cancer, and that's unforgivable. It's not actually. She has been forgiven for that, because me forgiving her for that empowers me. Me not forgiving her for that keeps it working on me. But anyway, so she's contacted me out of the blue last night. Hiya! And I was like, my first thought was like, no, there's a reason for me telling you this. This is all part of the speech and power. Let me just sort out Twitch and the grift, though. I might start a new YouTube channel, Twitch and the grift. Get Moslab and Rags wrestling with short blonde girls in bikinis. Not quite sure why I said short blonde girls in bikinis. I do know, really, because I had a particular one in mind. That classic Joe Guest image from In the Country by Blur. Yeah. Right, I'm just sorting out my old Twitch, because the poor boy got awfully lonely over there yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if he ain't even in here. I wouldn't be surprised if he never. What? What's going on? I wouldn't be surprised if he never comes back. But you know, Rags is Rags, isn't he? Rags is what Rags does. No. Charlie Sparkles is in there. Pete 58 is. Marzipan's there. Marzipan has also recognised no Rags. Yeah, I think he's sick of it. I think he's absolutely sick of it. That's all right though. It's been a bit of a laugh, isn't it? It'll always be his place. Anyway, how do you know about the suds? What do you know about the death suds? Are you referring to the death suds? Grifters on the storm. Take a long holiday. Do you know about the deaths? The death suds? Do you remember that? Do you know what I'm talking about when you say those with those suds? Anyway, right, grift on next. I've only had a couple. 5 years I've been doing this, Lark. 5 years, and you'd think I'd be able to get through one stream without a ridiculous that was my fault. I just pressed the wrong button. Thank you, Chrissy. Hey, Chris, entropy, no less, entropy. Hey, Chris, entropy. Where did that come from? Entropy is offline. It won't be now. It won't be in a couple of seconds. I mean, it only took about half hour yesterday to sort out, didn't it? I mean, get comfortable. This could take some time. Oh, no, it's looking positive. It's asking for my phone. This phone is so dead. I can't wait to get my bank card code so that I can get a new phone on the business. Lovely. Hey, I'll tell you a funny story in a minute. I keep saying to the other people at the business, I keep saying I won't get the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I don't need it. I don't need it. I just need a better camera and a phone that works, really. Yeah, you wait till I'm in that shop. You wait till that glistening golden card of the business bank account is glimmering in the sunshine of that Cambodian afternoon, and I go, So I've had an iPhone 7 since about 14, 18. Henry V put WhatsApp on my phone. Yeah, that could be quite a funny story. No, go on then. Actually, give me that one. Give me that one. Give me that one. Actually. Anyway, thank you, Chrissy, for telling me entropy was offline. I'm just sorting it out now. Hopefully, it won't be the palaver, the malarkey, the tomfoolery that it was yesterday. Oh, I've had another message. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't believe the amount of messages you get from Cambodian shops in Cambodia when you buy a phone. And you don't get the choice of opting out either. It's just you want a phone in Cambodia, expect to get about 20 adverts a day. In English as well as Khmer. Top up another £5 this month, and you'll be able to have 45 tunes every day, free of charge. Well, it ain't free of charge if I'm having to pay for it, but I see what you tried to do. Right, entropy, as we now know it, entropy, which I think is why it worked. If someone wants to test it, I think it's got to be a oneer to test it properly. It should be working. Carson Coy is on the firm. You see, the beautiful thing about Carson Coy is as old people leave, new people arrive. I've only got about 30 people from my first year left because YouTube it's transient like that. You'll get 1,000 subscribers and think, wow, I've got 1,000. But by the time you've got 5,000, you've probably lost that first 1,000 because people move on, and that's all right. But Carson Coy has only been here a month or two, Carson, and you've fully established yourself. You've managed to get this rather striking yellow when you give a donation, and you do give donations rather regularly. So I think that certainly helped establish you, which is going to get Scrubs angry. He's buying his way into the top ranks. Anyway, hello, Carson Coy. This is what he says. All right, Chris. I created a YouTube. What? You've got your own channel. Inspired by you. Dun, 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 dun. My next vid is going to be about drug reform and such. Never doubt the Arnie Carlson, because I have my views. Oh no, I have my views. Also, bless up as always, Chris. Scrub. Hang on a minute. So you're gonna do a video about drug reform? I'll be very interested. You've given the game away with the Arnie Carlson. I preferred Carlson Coy, but we'll go with what your mother gave you. Arnie Carlson is going to have a. Is your channel going to be about drugs, drug reform, and drugs always, or is it going to be a channel much like mine where we talk about personal growth and financial independence and all the good things in life? You don't even have to answer that if you haven't made a decision, but I'm well chuffed. And even if you only make one video a month to start with, you're making content, you're learning, you're using your brain, you're engaging with the world. So well done, excellent. And if you ever want to talk about drugs from a legal or from the disease model or anything like that, I'll come on for half hour, help you get a few subscribers. Nice one, Carlson. That's good stuff, man. Good to hear. Many say they're going to do it. Very few do. So nice one. Funnily enough, Dog Backwards says, I'm watching CNN at the airport. CNN have had the monopoly at American airports for something like 30 years. You can only CNN can be on the news at airports. And last year they lost that. They lost their monopoly. So I think by about 6 months' time, you can actually probably watch. Oh, I don't know. You might be lucky. CNBC, Fox. Mousecat says, my iPhone 7 is still good apart from the cracked screen and it doesn't charge up on my charge pad in the car. Well, my iPhone 7 is still good apart from the cracked screen. But it's not it's not the screen that's cracked. If I try and take off that adhesive screen and put a new one on, it'll tear off the actual screen. And down this right side, I can barely read anything. So, and like I say, when it's on the business, why wouldn't you? But they're good. They're a good bit of kit, the iPhone 7. That's why I've always had one. Well, until I haven't always had one, but when they come out, I got one. This is what I'm trying to say. Good Lord. Right. Anyway, where were we? Thank you, Carlson, for that donation. I'm not sure if Entropy is working. The link is in the description. The description of the video. I'll also put it in the chat now. Oh, look at that. Are you sure? Are you sure? Rothschild reckons a couple of airports are showing One America news already, which is incredible because they're right out there. You know, that's like the opposite of CNN, isn't it? Amazing. There's so much change on the horizon. People think we're losing, but it's collapsing, people. The structures, and this is part of this video, the structures required to maintain the globalist project are collapsing. They're falling apart. They're becoming useless. Because the cameras don't work either. And I need a very high definition camera for this, for the new YouTube Shorts thing they're rolling out, which is basically YouTube copying TikTok, where you put out these little 15-minute vertically scrolling videos. Now we need to do them for work. So I need a decent camera, and I'm sorry, you can't get a decent camera on an iPhone 7. It looks like it's been made in pastels. It's like you've drawn it yourself in pastels. I was watching documentaries from your manor yesterday. No, I feel the same, Joe. I feel the same, Joe. They really jumped ship, didn't they? They really jumped ship. But that is very interesting. That is very interesting. OIN got in there so quick. Brilliant. Very interesting. Good to see you yesterday, Batch. Jesus, man. I was shocked. You look like a different bloke. You looked like a different bloke, and you behaved like a different person. The first time I ever spoke to you, and this won't come as any surprise to you because we talked about it. I remember thinking this is a broken person. This is a man, as much as I am. I mean, my life hasn't been a bed of roses, that's for sure. But this is a man who's got confidence issues. This is a man who feels like it's not you've let it go, but it's just falling away. That's how it struck me. And then talking to you yesterday, seeing you was just like, hang on, what? Who is this? It was really encouraging, really encouraging. I love that. I love that potential for change. That in any situation we're in as humans, we've got that ability to do something about it. You can actually grab the bull by the horns and go, all right, what needs doing? How are we going to work this out? And that's particularly hard for people with confidence issues. It's particularly hard for people with motivation issues because it's like, the two things you need are confidence and motivation. And if they're what you're struggling with, it's sort of treble difficult to get those things working. Nah, man, you looked about 15 years younger. You were smiling. It was the stuff that life is made of. So congratulations. I know, as you know, this party ain't over, but congratulations, man. Absolutely, congratulations. No, thank you, because I got a lot out of it too. I just to see you and to hear you. Anyway, so this ex-girlfriend got hold of me. Oh, hi, message. How are you? And already speech. And we're talking about speech and power. And already she's working me. She's split up with a boyfriend. She hasn't spoken to me for 3 years. She held on for 2 years trying to get a couple of grand out of me that she reckoned I owed her. But once she realised that weren't happening, off ski. And all of a sudden, hi, it's been such a long time. Now, it is quite a hard one for me, literally, because I'm going to show you a little video, actually. I can show you a little video of her. Hang on. If I can find this, which is probably quite unlikely, I might have even removed it because it was a little bit naughty, to be honest with you. But don't worry, it'll be worth it. And I need to show you it. It's definitely part of the story. But I can already feel while just after 3 or 4 words, hi, how are you? I can already feel the use of power and the way she's winning. She's beating me. Do you know what I mean? Can you identify with that? Someone you don't want to talk to, maybe. Someone you do want to talk to. Someone you hadn't expected to talk to. Someone whatever. Someone you know wants something out of you, talks to you. There's all these different things. And hang on. You get in these you get this phone call and immediately there's power at play. You know what's happening. Now I found the video I was looking for. 1 second. And I know that So here's a little lock picking video that me and her made, right? A little video we made to advertise a little lock pick. Okay? I just want some of the men to understand why there was a certain element of power immediately just from her saying, hi, how are you? God, I do seem to have a lot of pages open. I might have to sort that out. All right, here we go.
Keys, I'm Chris.
And I'm Charlotte.
And tonight we're looking at padlock shims. A padlock shim is a small piece of metal used to exploit the space on a padlock between the body and the shackle. Now, don't expect to
Well, I don't know why that decided to die at that time. But it certainly did. It's a bit of a shame because later on there's a moment which requires a bit of no, it won't play. Sorry, lad.
Talking. What if you have a look at the padlock? You'll see there's a couple of grooves in the shackle. What the shim does is it makes those grooves disappear. So the padlock has then got nothing. The body has got nothing to lock onto, and so the padlock opens. Like I say, there's plenty of them about. Are you going to do that one now, Charlotte?
I am, yeah.
It doesn't like it, does it?
You kind of caught us off guard with the last one, didn't you? I was busy explaining.
It didn't. So you get the idea, don't you? So so the power is happening, and I thought this is very interesting because on the back of the video I want to talk about, I don't know why there were so many. What is that? I wonder if I can delete some of these without ruining everything. It seemed that it would seem that I had about 1,000. Oh, we should be all right. But anyway, on the back of the video I knew I was going to make this morning, I remember thinking, this is quite interesting because she's already at it. And I said to her, my reply to her was, I got back to her and I said, I said, "Oh, so you split up with your boyfriend then?" I said, "Because obviously that's the only reason you'd call me." And I said, you're sniffing about a lamppost you've pissed up before. And I wasn't saying it like maliciously, but this is power at play now. This is now battle, because she's got an agenda. She's got an agenda. She wants something out of this situation. She probably wants some she wants some loving. She wants someone to tell her she's beautiful. She wants someone to desire her. She wants someone, or many things. And but she doesn't want to give too much away to get that, because then it's just desperate. You can't just ring someone up and go, "I've just split up with my boyfriend, but you used to well fancy me. Can you tell me how much you fancied me, please?" So there's a power. This is a power play. This is a game of power. Now, don't forget though, I'm a bloke. And after her first message, before I had a chance of replying, she wrote, "Oh, I've been going to the gym too. Look." Photo, 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 photo. Now I'm telling you, she never needed to go to the gym. She had a perfect body. It was perfect. So by going to the gym, she's made it more perfect without changing it. Because she hasn't. What is that? There's something weird going. She hasn't changed the shape of her body because there was nothing she could do. She had a big round ass, big round front bum, tiny little waist, just, size 2 feet. And so what you've got is a girl with a perfect body who now goes to the gym. It's the going to the gym that gives her more power, not what effect she gets from the gym. And then the photos. So I'm a bloke, so I'm being played. I'm being played now. She's saying to me, look at all this that you can have. What are you going to do about it? Are you a man? Because any other man, an alpha man, would bang it, right? That is what's going on. Carlson says, "I'm still Carson Coy. I watched you months ago, yet didn't have a YouTube set up months ago. I used to watch you on an Amazon Fire Stick on my TV. Good Lord. I barely remembered those Amazon Fire Sticks. Wow. But nice one. Nice to see you. Nice to have you here. You don't have to do a super chat every time to get read out. I do try and read every comment. I do try and read them all, and if they're interesting, I'll pop them up. Yeah. Okay. That I can't. I didn't know that anyone would say that. Cheeky bastard. But so then she got back to me and she was like, "Yeah, I was with this bloke." And I said to her, "It was that so-and-so, wasn't it?" And I said, "How do you go out of a beta like that after being with an alpha like me?" And I'm playing. Now I'm using speech and power, because I'm slapping her ex-boyfriend around the face. I'm flicking him on the forehead. I'm going, "Go and sit down, you. The adults are talking." That's what's happening. What does she do? What does she do there? Because she obviously, even if she, she said she finished with him, and, very few men will finish with her, but she is nutty. And they all, eh? but then she sold it as I just felt a bit controlled and I just want to move on. All right, Mark, I'm just talking about power and speech. And the video was set up for last night. And I set it up for last night, but we never got it talked about. I was so fucked. I just ended up talking about nonsense. But I thought I'd do it today, and in between then and now, I don't want to say her name, but my ex-Vietnamese girlfriend contacted me. Oh, hi. I've been going to the gym with some photos, and I'm talking about speech and power. And you saw enough of her to know that there's a certain amount of power being utilized within that that speech there. Carlson Coy says, I have loads, so it's not to worry. I'm just trying to say I couldn't interact before. Oh, well, in that case, if it doesn't matter, I won't read them out unless I have loads. Is amazing. Well, I look forward to your YouTube channel. And like I said, if you want me to come on and discuss, have you seen the video I done with Jeffrey Sharla? Look for the video I done with Jeffrey Sharla. He wrote a book called Addiction is a Choice. And he was a hero of mine. And I ended up meeting him. And I met him and got him on my channel. And we ended up becoming friends via email. And now the bastard's got leukemia. And I hope he pulls through. Jamie Theakston was involved at the Met Bar actually in 1000 and when was it? 1098. Yeah, 1098. Is that a date? I can't even work it out. So yeah, so now the pair of us are playing all this lot. Carlston Coy's joined. He's on the firm. We've got to do those private streams this week. Next Sunday, okay? Next Sunday, I'll put them in my diary now. Next Sunday, 12 o'clock midday, Scrubs Adventurers. Scrubs Explorers at 12 o'clock midday UK. And then at about 1:30, Scrubs Heroes, okay? So don't worry, I will remind you about them before every stream between now and then. But not this Sunday, next Sunday. So it's March the 10th. So this Sunday is the 14th, which is Mother's Day. So the 21st. On the 21st, it will be the Explorers and Heroes streams. And they will be starting you'll get the Explorers one at midday. That'll go on to about 10 minutes past 1. And then at 1:30, we'll have the Scrubs Heroes. So they're 2 weeks' time. Oh God, did I even save that? But nice one, Carson. They're quite interesting actually. They're very different. They're not like this. We basically get Scrubs on. Sometimes we have about 5 or 6 on the screen, and we just have a chat. We just talk, and they're private while they're live, but then people can watch them afterwards if they wish. And they're a very different. go. That's gone. Brilliant. Saved. So 21st of March, we will be having the private streams. Someone else remind me as well when the time comes to it. Carlson's saying he's active even when he's lurking. Good Lord. Most delightful. There you go. You're active when you're lurking. I don't know if you can be active when you're lurking. I'll tell you what though, on my other monitor, it's still got that clip from my ex-girlfriend doing that padlock, but because it's got her thumb with a big pink nail varnish, out the corner of my eye, it looks like a huge penis. So I'm just going to have to move that on a bit because I don't want that out the corner of my eye. I don't want it anywhere near my eye or nose, mouth, but especially not anus. But that to go. Still no rags. Still no rags over there. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Who's lurking? Oh, someone's lurking. The boy is there. Cheeky thing. Did I see Howard Long? How is he? Anyway, hope you're doing it. There you go. Hello, Howard. Right, well, there you go. So now there's a power game going on. And then she said, I'm taking a few weeks off in a few months after all this COVID. And she said, and I'm going to come and visit Cambodia. Now, I'll tell you now, my missus is going to take one look at her and she's just going to say to me, no. How about no? How about no, you're not going out for dinner with her? And then I'll be honest because I need to be honest, and we're going to get on to honesty in speech in a minute. And I'll say, well, she's an ex-girlfriend and it would be nice to talk to her. But I don't think I'd be able to stop myself. I'm being honest. And I love my girlfriend so much. And what I've learned over the years is, and a lot of my male friends have taught me this, if you can't hold back, if you can't stop yourself from hurting someone you love, which is cheating on your girlfriend. That's, we call it cheating on your girlfriend. But it's actually, the real phrase is hurting someone you love, possibly in the worst way possible. The only way you can get worse is compound versions of the same thing. So fucking someone, and then the compound is fucking your ex-girlfriend, and then the compound one is fucking your ex-girlfriend, her video in it, and then sending your girlfriend the video. Fucking your ex-girlfriend and getting her pregnant and the ex-girlfriend keeping the baby. It's just cheating on someone. It can only get worse by being a compound version of the same thing. It's and so what you do is, the adult thing you do is, and I talk about it all the time. The adult thing is acceptance. And this is why I always explain acceptance as acceptance doesn't mean that you think something's right. It just means that you understand that there's certain behaviors and certain realities that you've got to negotiate. And so in the example of this, I'll tell you what, if I ended up in a hotel in Phnom Penh with my ex-bird, we'd have a starter and I'd go, fuck any more of this eating, Lark. Should we go up into your room? And she'd go, yeah, because that's what she's there for. And don't get me wrong, she hasn't come all the way to Cambodia to have sex with me. She doesn't. I'm not. It's not like, she doesn't think I'm the greatest fuck in the world. But she wants to exercise that power. She wants to show that power. And she wants to show that power to me and my girlfriend. And that is a mean thing to do, but women do it all the time. Women really do that all the time. They don't even want the sex. They want to prove it to themselves, the boy and the girl, that they've got the power. So the acceptance in this example, well, what is it? Tell me what it is, Scrubs. How do you respond to the acceptance in this example? You accept that if you go for lunch with your ex-missus, you're going to bang her. How do you actively respond to the acceptance? Grego. Not really. Well, weirdly, Grego, you're right. But the question was, how do you respond to the acceptance? You're actually right. You're halfway there. There you go. There you go. It's that simple. It's that simple. Because what happens to a younger man doesn't realize that he's already been beaten. He's already been, the power of the woman's speech has already done him. And she's won. That goal has been scored. The minute you agree to go to that, I don't think there is a man, there's probably one man in a million who can go for dinner with an ex who he absolutely fancies the tits off and leaves without, I don't want to say knobbing it, but I'm gonna. And the problem is that one man in a million who leaves without having sex with her, not only did he do that, but he put himself through that for no reason. And that whole dinner, that 2 or 3 hours, when she has let's get another glass of wine. Go on, let's just get one more, just for old time's sake. Remember when we used to do those pina coladas in Koh Samui? 4 pina coladas, please. And you're like, oh, fucking hell, man. And now you're seeing excuses on the horizon. Pina colada, yeah, that'll help me relax. You relax for what? What, for walking home? You don't need to be relaxed to walk home. And so now there's excuses on the horizon. And now you're fighting yourself. You're in a battle with yourself, and there is nothing worse. There's nothing worse in life than fighting yourself. And listen, I'm talking she, he here just because I'm a bloke. But this all happens the other way round. And I am fully accepting that. And I'm not being out of order to the amazing, wonderful female scrubs that we have got about 17%, which is ridiculous. Most channels have about 9% female, but she is then using speech for hours, and she's going to be looking at you. She's going to put her hand on your leg. Oh, it's so good to see you, and you'll be going. The problem is you're then looking for excuses. You're now working with her. This is now a plot. This is Macbeth now. the pair of you are colluding. How can we do this? And what's the, can I actually fuck her? Is she going to let me out of the room like within 20 minutes so I can get home, or so I can at least have a shower and get home? Am I going to be able to sit there with my missus when I get home while she is playing the other game? She's just playing the other game. Like, you know what I always liked about you? I always liked about you that, no one could hold you down. No one told you what to do. She's playing that one. And it feels good. I was your girlfriend for 6 years. And even then, I knew that, you were going to do whatever you wanted to do. That's what makes you special. That's what makes you different. And that stuff is like, that's like magic. That's like a witch, that is, with a wand. He shall be special and wise. He shall be magical and wonderful. He shall be not like the other men. It's dangerous stuff, man. What you do is you don't go. That's all you have to do. Now, that weren't meant to be the whole story, but I just thought I'd bring that in because it was interesting. It was interesting. Yeah, but Odan, here's the problem. Look, the promise of milk and honey is often too much to ignore. But the promise of milk and honey isn't all you get, though, is it? You get the milk, yeah, and you get the honey, yeah, you do, yeah. But you also get the arguments. You also get to break your girlfriend's heart. And if you're going to break your girlfriend's heart on the back of some milk and honey, then you don't love your girlfriend. And if you don't love your girlfriend, you shouldn't be with her. And if you shouldn't be with her, now you've got an even bigger problem because you've got to get out of that relationship. But you're not going to because you think you love her. And now you've got the great debate going on. Because the day before, you were absolutely head over heels in love with her. But now it's like, it'd have been well nice to bang my old missus. Imagine that up in the hotel room. But can you imagine that land of milk and honey? That you are in the land of milk and honey. That hotel room is the land of milk and honey. But when you get back, you get back to the land of engine oil and other man's spunk. It's the opposite of where you were. Somewhere unpleasant and vulgar. And your missus, who trusted you because she loves you and she doesn't want to control you and she wants you to be free, and she's biting her lip and she's saying, how was it? And you're like, yeah, it was all right, a bit boring, really. She's the same old girl, really. And then she says, what's she doing in Cambodia? And you're like, and then it's just it damages your life, and this is all around the power of speech. And now now I didn't want to talk about any of that. It's just that it happened amidst me thinking about power and speech. Because when we look at the long march through the institutions, exactly, Rathschild, exactly. When we look at the long march through the institutions, where did they go? Media. What is media? What is media? Let's have a look and see what media is. We'll have a look at the etymology as well. The word media is a plural form of the Latin word medium, meaning middle ground or intermediate. Its usage is also used to describe radio and other sources and information, likely derives from the term mass media, which was a technical term used from the advertising industry. But it actually comes from the Latin word medium, which is really interesting. So you've got that they penetrated that this thing that's medium, and it's not. It isn't that. The media has changed. It is no longer medium. It is extreme, because once the Long March got in place, they weren't interested in medium. They weren't interested in an intermediate body. They wanted it to be an extreme body. They wanted to say particular things. Where else did they walk? They walked into schools. What are schools? Schools are speech. What happens at school? The first thing that happens at school, when you turn up at your first school, the teachers talk. They talk to you. Hello, class. This is an elephant. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. And it is speech for another 15 years. Where else did the Long March go? Well, sorry, I've also forgot to mention the media. The media is speech as well. You turn on the telly and you get the news. What's the news? It's speech. It's words. Speech, 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 speech. Where else did they go? Universities. What are universities? Well, you get lectures. Literally lectured. You get lectured. You sit there. You shut up. So you're not conversing. You're not challenging. You're listening. You're listening to speech. So they're just there. Bosh, bosh, pang, 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 2021. It's just more speech. The media is speech. School is speech. University is speech. Where else did the Long March go? Into the legal realm. The law. The law is speech. The law is so refined, because they know they can actually lock you up. It's become such a refined element of speech that you need a lawyer who knows what the words that they use mean. You can't do it. Mr. Dangerfield, you are held here today on suspected of charges of disseminating information of an illegal political whatever, blah blah blah. How do you plead? And you're like, well, to be honest with you, love, I had a look at the deposition and that. I had a look at and they just say, Mr. Dangerfield, it's a simple yes or no answer, and you go, yeah, but I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. The speech, the words used don't mean anything to me. Well, why didn't you get a lawyer? Well, I assumed that we could have a conversation as we're both equals, and that we use the same language. No. Are we talking in a different language? Yes, we are. Why? Why are we? Well, we are, because it means that people with more money can hire people who are better at using the different language than others. Oh, right. That seems fair. And so we've got the long march. The long march is what's peculiar about it is the focus is on March. The focus is on March. But in truth, the march is just simile, really, isn't it? Because there was no marching. The commies didn't start making their way into universities like that. No, they applied for jobs like the rest of them. They just knew what to say. They knew how to get the jobs. Same with the law. They didn't march into the legal profession. No, they went for interviews. But they knew what to say because they'd been taught by Marxists who taught them what to say to get into that institution. And so while we focus on the march, and to an extent the length of it, this is a multi-generational project. But what you don't hear, what is intentionally absent, is speech. And what that whole project is really about is speech, is understanding, not understanding, and defining. Racism. We all know what racism means. No, we know what racism means. And then one day someone said, nah, it doesn't mean that anymore. What? What do you mean it doesn't mean that anymore? What, that ain't how it works, is it? Yeah, because people with power who are in the institutions, what institutions? Libraries, schools. Where are libraries? Libraries are in universities. What go into libraries? PhDs go into libraries. Publications go into libraries. Who publishes them? Publishing houses. Who runs them? People who are politically on that side. It's all about speech and power. So one day racism is different. No. Now it's power plus privilege. What? Hang on, no. If I call you a racist name, if I call you a name because of a characteristic you have no choice over, such as the color of your skin or your appearance, that's racism, no? Yeah, it is. So if you do it to me, it is as well. No. What? No. Because you've got power. Yeah, but you've got power because you've just told me that I've got power. You're redefining the meaning of these words and telling me I've got power, which would surely suggest you've got power. And just as you're about to win that argument, shut up, bigot, or you'll go to prison. Shut up, bigot, or you'll lose your job. Shut up, bigot, or your kids will get hassled at school. Okay, sorry, but I'm sorry about that. I am sorry. I don't want to be called racist. What could be worse? It's actually been a 100-year-long spell. A spell in the magical sense. A spell where they invented a thing called political correctness. And they named it so. They named it so. It's that powerful. They didn't have to hide it. They didn't have to. I mean, Gramsci would have called it hegemony. Gramsci would have called it hegemony. Barthes would have called it mythology. It's all different words for it. But they didn't need to, because they'd already cast the spell. And they called it this. They called it political correctness. I mean, can you believe that? It's like, it's straight out of Brave New World. Political correctness. Now, politics from the Greek city-state, an area, a geography, a topography, separated from the domestic realm, a place where politics was discussed, a place where the running of the state was discussed. And it was discussed in a Socratic way, where people put arguments forward, and those arguments were challenged, and those arguments were challenged, and blah, 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 blah. Well, that now has a correctness to it. In the Greek city-state version, you've got a direction, you've got a dialectic. You say this, well, I say this. Well, I'm saying this, which challenges that, which challenges this, which challenges that, which dialectically opposes that, which exposes a contradiction. Once a contradiction is exposed, we have a new idea, we have a new thought, we have a death on the battlefield. Someone has won, and that then establishes itself as the new politics. Only in its singular form, but when you do enough singular forms, you get the general politics of an epoch. But what the Marxists have done, I mean, I'm mind blown that in 2021 we're fighting Marxists. But fear not, because they're crumbling. But we'll do that video later in the week. But they have invented political correctness, and that is almost the inverse of a Socratic dialectic, because now you don't argue. You don't put ideas forward. You don't involve in rhetoric and dialectic until a contradiction is resolved, and therefore one stands and one fails. You're simply told, No, that what you just said is not politically correct. You don't get to argue it. You get told. And you're like, yeah, but hang on a minute. What I'm just trying to say is it's not politically correct. So stop talking about it. Because what is politically correct has already been established. So stop talking about it, or we'll lock you up. Because we know what's politically correct, and we know what isn't politically correct. And they done that because they knew the power of speech, and they managed to get there. They managed to get themselves in all the institutions of speech, and once they got in them, they started setting out what is the politically correct speech on that subject. What is politically correct on that subject? And how, and if you take nothing else from this presentation, this internet broadcast presentation, how is the correct way of talking about it? How do we speak about it? And when is it politically incorrect to speak about it? Because we need to control speech. We need to be able to say when speech is politically correct, and we need to say when speech is politically incorrect. That way, we take argument out of speech. We take argument out of speech. Is it politically correct? Is it politically incorrect? There's no argument needed because they've had their arguments. They've written their books. They've printed this material. They look it up like people used to in the Bible. I think we've got a few super chats to look at. Okay. Kujetil Olstad dropped 50 knock. Great to see you livelier today. Hope my advice yesterday didn't offend too much. It came from a place of love. Man, I was just knackered. It's all right. It's all right. Look, I get it from my mother as well. As soon as I'm a bit shafted, you taking drugs? And it's like, no, I'm tired. You're all right, Kujetil. Look, listen, anyone can say anything to anyone here as long as it's respectful, as long as it's not intentionally angry and argumentative in a negative way. We're all right here. Carlston Coy drops another $5. Glad to have upgraded to the £5 tier. Speaking of girlfriends and exes, mine was evil. Yeah, they all are. My Philly fiance, is better than any Anglo I've been with. What? My Philly? Oh, you're with a Filipino. Well, they're feminine. It's the same as my Cambodian girlfriend. She's feminine. The feminists haven't spent 40 years draining them of their power. Feminists, the irony with feminism is they intended to give women power. And by removing their feminism, removing their femininity from them, they at once removed their power. It's fucking absurd, but that's for another day. Carlson Coy again, just saying I'm active even when I'm lurking. Carlson Coy, I'm still Carlson Coy. I've watched you months ago, yet didn't have a YouTube set up. I used to watch you on Amazon Fire Stick on my TV. Chrissy, bloody good phone call. Can we rewind? What the hell is that about? What, with the ex-girlfriend? I think I recorded it. That would blow your mind, wouldn't it? Carlson Kai dropped a cockle. All right, there, I created a YouTube inspired by you. My next vid is going to be about the drug reform and such. Never doubt Arnie Carlson, because I have my views. Also, bless up as always, Chris Scrub. Listen, Carlson, if you're going to do a video about drug reform, right, I would suggest you read a book by Gabor Mate, In the Eyes, I think it's In the Eyes of the Hungry Ghosts. In the Eyes of the Hungry Ghosts. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh, I see. So when Chrissy said, bloody good phone call, can we rewind? She says, I got a phone call, so missed part of the stream. Oh, sorry about that, Chrissy. What a pain in the ass. So we finally got there, speech and power. There's a lot more to think about there. So if you got anything out of that, consider it. Consider how it's used historically. Consider how speech is weaponized. That's what you've got to think about, because on the surface it appears to be, teachers talking to 4 or 5-year-olds. What could be more, wonderful? What could be more sort of innocent? Well, not that. That can be the abuse and use of power, and it's already working, and it's already damaging their minds. There you go. That's the one. In the realm of the hungry ghosts. That's it. In the realm of the hungry ghosts. There's an old, I think, Buddhist or Hindu idea of these hungry ghosts, and they've got these big distended bellies because they're never content, and their eyes are always looking because they always need to consume, but they're never content. They're never sated. They always need to consume more and more and more. And he uses the figure of the hungry ghost to describe the addict. But it's a great book, actually. I think it's far superior to Johann Hari's the Scream of some shit, which is, it's like gutter journalism, really. The best book on drugs is Jeffrey Sharla's Addiction is a Choice. I'll dig it out. I'll dig out that interview I done with him now in case no one saw it. I'm terribly worried that he's not going to get through this. And I've just become friends with him, and we've been writing wonderful emails to each other. And he's now having chemo, and then they reckon he's got the COVIDs on top of that. Bless you, Jeffrey. And the fact that he gives me his time, and I ask him questions and he writes back these massive answers, and then he links me to papers about it, and he's introduced me to the whole lie and the whole myth of psychiatry. It's been mind-blowing. And then he had to go and get sick. Link in the description to my interview with Jeffrey Sharla. It's really worth a watch. I've just put the link in the description. I'll put it a couple more times because I know how hard it is sometimes to hear all those. I'm going to have to write to him actually later today. I'll tell you what, maybe later when we do a video, right at the beginning, we could all do a big shout out to Jeff Sharla. That might be quite a nice thing to do. All right, people. Well, look, we got there in the end. I hope I managed to explain the kind of thing I'm talking about here. We've got speech, and speech is part of power. And even when we're honest, we're using speech in a powerful way. But when we lie, speech damages us. I didn't even go down that track. That bit's in the description. But when we're in conversation, when we're talking to people, and we're honest with them, our own speech is making us powerful because we're being honest. But as soon as we start lying, our own speech is making us weak. This stuff is really worth looking at. All right, people, I will see you later on this afternoon. Thank you very much. We done pretty good actually for the early stream. We had 135 and we had 5 over there in Twitcheroony. There have probably been about 35 lurkers as well, which is always nice. And I will catch up with you this afternoon, probably about 4 o'clock. Let me just do that, just do that, just do that. And then just ask my mum why she likes what? Neil Sedaka so much. I did not expect that to happen. I have never pressed that button before, and now I know why. Apologies, people. I mean, come on. We have at least 3 technical glitches in one of my shows. Just to prove that it is actually one of my shows. I think that's fair enough. You've all been absolutely brilliant. I've got a day's work now. I'll be doing that. And when that's finished, I'll come on and I'll stream with you. Take care. Ta-da!
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. The joy of loving is to live in the world of man and love. There's someone who's waiting for you. Soon the world will be yours for a time. Music starts to play, night will turn to day. Darkness disappears when the one you love is near. You're in man comes. All the world loves the lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of man and God. There's a place that is waiting for you, a world where the best in life is free, where time is always spring, happiness is king. The dreams you dream come true when the one you love loves you. You're in man.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your... What day is it? I don't know. Wednesday. It's got to be Wednesday, isn't it? Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We're literally at weekend EVV, which is lovely. I will see you all over. And we had no problems, did we? Now I've got my old double modem, whatever it's called, set up. Lovely. See you later.
All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of man and God.
Oh, hi. Bye. See you later. Ta-da.